Radio tower at Lamar State College, Port Arthur. How first responders tried to convince him to come down and why he's no stranger to law enforcement.
Plus, the Jasper County Emergency Services District fighting for an ambulance contract for Kirbyville, the money it's asking for from the city.
And the city of Beaumont is bridging the gap, how it is making information accessible to more residents with over 100 languages. 12 News Daybreak starts now.
Good morning, Southeast Texas. Thanks for waking up with Daybreak on 12 News Plus. I'm Tia Johnson.
And I'm Mark Armstrong. It's 7:01, so let's go ahead and get a first look at our weather with meteorologist Jeff Gerber. And here's a live look outside from our roofing 911 Skycam network, taking a look at that tower there above Lamar State College. Don't see that climber on there right now. Meantime, we've got Jeff Gerber standing by with today's forecast. How's it looking out there, Jeff?
Not a bad start this morning. Temperatures in the 60s and a few 70s, but a lot of 60s. Jasper's now dropped to 64. Pretty comfortable there. 69 in Kirbyville, 68 in Orange, also 68 here in Beaumont. Holding on to around the lower 70s there in Port Arthur, and then 73 in Woodville. Speaking of Port Arthur, once again, partly cloudy skies out there for this morning. Sun's still getting ready to come up here. Officially, sunrise is right about now, 7:01 for this morning. As we take a look at our day planner, we start in the 70s. Probably through about 9 o'clock, and then we jump into the 80s. We'll be upper 80s at noon, lower 90s through the afternoon. About 20% coverage of a few showers possible late this afternoon. Very isolated stuff. It's going to be hot and humid. We're going to see this forecast again and again through the next 7 days. We'll show you that coming up in weather.
A Jefferson County judge has sentenced a man to prison for child sex crimes. Austin Shoemaker pled guilty to 2 counts of aggravated sexual assault of a child yesterday, according to a probable cause affidavit. He assaulted a child younger than 14 at a Beaumont motel. He was already on probation on a theft charge. Judge John Stevens revoked that probation and sentenced him to 20 years.
And a Port Arthur man was sentenced to 10 years in prison for a deadly 2022 shooting. Darionte Everfield pleaded guilty to murder Monday. Police say that he was the getaway driver involved in that deadly shooting of a 19-year-old Alfonso Solomon at the McDonald's in Groves. He also pleaded guilty to tampering with physical evidence. The shooter, Daryl Prevost, was sentenced to 76 years in prison back in 2023.
All right, switching gears, we're following the latest on this mystery man right here who stopped traffic in Port Arthur Monday. He climbed nearly 180 feet to the top of the radio tower at Lamar, Port Arthur. We started tracking his every move Saturday around 3:30 yesterday afternoon using our roofing 911 live Skycam. We also had a crew monitoring him from the ground. At some point, he attached a backpack to the tower. Once police realized who he was, they moved back in an effort to give the man some space and convince him to come down. Police say he's a serial climber. Here's video taken about 2 months ago. PA Fire Battalion Chief Jay Fountain says this is the same man who climbed the water tower on the west side along with the power tower where St. Mary Hospital used to be. We were scanning the Lamar Tower again last night and watched him start to climb down around 9:15. It's unclear if he's safely on the ground. We checked our Skycam again this morning and we just saw it. No sign of him. We've been in contact with the police chief and we'll keep you updated if he's charged with anything.
And in Newton County, they're officially going to have an EMS service starting today. In May, voters, they approved a 2% sales tax to fund the service. And in August, county leaders chose Allegiance Mobile Health. Now, this is the same company that serves Jasper County. And in Kirbyville, Jasper County ESD3 is hoping to secure a contract with Allegiance to help with wait times.
Later today, city council members will vote on whether to provide an extra $75,000 a year to pay for service costs. Here's 12 News reporter Ebony Coleman.
Sometimes the wait time is kind of excessive, like an hour.
I feel that we honestly need our own ambulance here in town.
The push to bring an ambulance service inside Kirbyville city limits is loud and clear. Kirbyville CISD Superintendent Stephen Edwards says they rely on ambulances in other cities, which means longer wait times.
Students have had a seizure and we've called an ambulance and there has not been one available. And so we've had to use other vehicles to try and transport them.
Gary Barlow, incoming president of Jasper County ESD3, wants the ESD board to approve a 3-year contract with Allegiance Mobile Health. He is hoping city leaders will allow a portion of a sales tax increase to go towards the contract.
To make the money real tight for the fire department, we just asking for some help for a little bit of money to help where we have plenty of money for the fire departments and the ambulance.
Fernandez wishes an ambulance service would have been available for her grandmother.
She had breathing problems real bad, so some of the things could have been avoided, you know, if we had someone that could get to her quicker. I really feel like we need that.
In Kirbyville, Ebony Coleman, 12 News.
Kirbyville's mayor is hesitant to sign on the deal, but city leaders are meeting today at 5.
Yeah, it's going to be followed by an ESD board meeting to decide whether or not they're going to move forward with the contract. And now to some headlines from across Texas. Governor Abbott is offering an award for information on a cold case from 2 years ago.
39-year-old Austin Canuck was fatally shot while sleeping in his home in 2023. His wife and children were there but didn't get hurt. A suspect is seen in surveillance video, but investigators haven't been able to make out clear details. They do believe the attack was targeted. The governor's office has offered $20,000 to anyone who helps catch the killer, combined with an existing Crime Stoppers reward. Anyone with good info could get up to $40,000 total.
And a 19-year-old is in jail and another suspect still on the run after an armed robbery led to a police chase from Arlington to Fort Worth. Police say that 2 men robbed a 22-year-old at gunpoint. Officers spotted their car on I-30, but the driver wouldn't stop. The chase ended in a crash. Both suspects ran off, but the police, they were able to catch one of them. Now to Uvalde, where the school district has been shut down completely.
It'll be closed for at least another couple of days over a cyber attack. Over the weekend, Uvalde CISD detected ransomware in its servers. It's affecting everything from security systems to phone lines to the air conditioning. A district spokesperson says they've reported the attack to the FBI, which is helping them investigate the source. They're hoping to figure out if any important information has been compromised. Kids will hopefully be able to return to school Thursday. In some lighter news, you've never heard of them, but they just gave one of the most surprising musical performances of the year.
Yeah, we're talking about a couple of 70-somethings in North Texas who've gone viral for their karaoke skills, and Sean Giggy was there for the encore.
South of that border.
It's karaoke night at the String Bean in Richardson.
Aye, 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 aye.
And when Christy Medeiros, known professionally as DJ C-Ray, started DJing here just a few weeks ago, she never expected to hear such an astonishing performance. It happened when 77-year-old Jerry Guy stepped to the mic.
And when they started singing it and they knew every word, I was like, I have to capture it.
Jerry was actually there with a friend. They sang a duet, and when they began, jaws hit the floor. Two seniors, nearly 80, singing rap. What a sound.
It's such a shock when they hear that first come out of our mouths.
Everyone was singing and dancing. It was awesome. It was just so cool.
Christy shared video of the performance on TikTok, racking up nearly 500,000 views. Jerry says it's the first time he and his friend, Ben Coker, have gone viral. But surprisingly, not their first time performing the song. Jerry says he first sang Low by Flo Rida years ago, surrounded by people more than half his age.
And after we got through singing, this young man came up to me and goes, "You need to go work the crowd. The girls love you guys." And I went, "Son, at my age, you bring your own girl with you. You don't go chasing them around."
Still, their popularity has never been hotter. The following week, it was standing room only. Newcomers eager to see what was next.
I think my next suggestion to Ben is he needs to learn Yeah by Usher.
Time to start practicing for an encore.
I will. Yeah.
In Richardson, I'm Sean Giggy.
All right, let's give it up for Jerry.
That was too cute. It just goes to show you that you don't actually need any talent. It's just confidence to go out there and work that crowd. So good for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Funny story there. All right, it is 7:10. Texas State University is celebrating the life and music of late Tejana star Selena. It's unveiled a new exhibit dedicated to her musical and fashion influence called the Selena Effect. The music curator spoke to our sister station about her impact on Texas culture.
First of all, Selena is this light and this joy that keeps influencing our culture. You know, that's, I noticed a couple of years ago, just putting a couple of photographs of Selena up, that the students seem to really connect to her. And I wanted to find out what that effect is. And really the answer is that it's almost like this pure joy. Now, 30 years after her death, it's as connected to what she means in the present as her music accomplishments.
The exhibit includes clothing that's never been displayed before, and on September 25th, it'll host a special conversation with Selena's fashion designer and friend, Martin Gomez. The installation will be on display through December. And here at home, we're highlighting the city of Beaumont's push for inclusivity.
Yeah, the city worked to make its website and services accessible in more than 100 different languages. With the Hispanic population growing, city leaders say that it's critical to make information available in Spanish. Now residents can find answers online to everything from trash pickup to water bills, even in their own indigenous languages. Now the city says that it is proud to expand access, especially now with the start of Hispanic Heritage Month.
Understanding that we have a very diverse community, so Spanish, of course, being an important language to our community, you're able to also choose other languages that you may feel more comfortable.
And the city also says that it is planning on adding a chat bot soon. That's going to allow residents to ask questions in their native language, including English, and the bot will be able to respond back in that same language.
Well, you just heard the El Grito, or the Cry of Independence. It's a pivotal part of celebrating Mexican Independence Day. It recalls the moment in which a priest rang the parish bell of the morning of September 16, 1810 to call Mexicans to rise against the Spanish crown and fight for independence. This particular call was done at an event in San Antonio.
All right, coming up next here on Daybreak in our 7 o'clock hour, the big changes you can expect when it comes to travel, why airlines and hotels are moving away from offering refunds. Plus, could sunscreen ice cream really become a thing? I hope not. The trending news is right ahead here. Your time is 7:12.
We begin with breaking news in Port Neches.
Firefighters continue attacking the flames from the air.
We're working to learn more about a police chase.
We'll give you a live look at the scene tonight. Our crew there.
A chase in Port Neches turned into a standoff.
So we're working to get you more information.
We're going to keep you updated on air and online as we learn more.
Stream extended coverage on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
I wouldn't say that I was like a partier, but I would say that I was a social butterfly. So we would just always drink. That night, I went through a red light and I T-boned another vehicle. And I just remember thinking like, oh no. Right after the DWI, I lost my license and I did 30 days in jail. I could have killed him because I decided to be reckless. I have a ton of regrets. I'm Katie. 5 years ago, I got a DWI and I'm still paying for it every day.
As tropical activity picks up in the Gulf, 12 News is your hurricane headquarters. Get prepared before a storm hits. Watch the 12 News Hurricane Special, streaming on 12 News Plus. From the must-haves in your supply kit to the evacuation routes you'll need to take, plus safety tips and how you can protect yourself from storm scammers. The 12 News Hurricane Special, keeping you prepared. Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
As Texans, we have many reasons to be proud of the Lone Star State. Showing our pride by saying, "Don't mess with Texas," means we gotta step up, walk the walk. Do our part to keep Texas clean. Because after all these years, all these miles, all these traditions, For all us Texans, don't mess with Texas means don't litter.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Patrick Vaughn here with one of the most important hurricane tips, having an evacuation plan. First, gather food, water, and medicine before storing it in an emergency kit. Plan well in advance where you're going, how you'll get there, and if you'll need to transport any pets, small children, or the elderly. For more hurricane tips, go to 12newsnow.com/hurricane.
Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
All right, now to your Money Matters news this morning. You can expect to start seeing big changes when it comes to travel. That's because airlines and hotels are going back to the non-refundable options they've been offering for years. John Matarese explains.
If there was one good thing to come out of the pandemic, it was that hotels and airlines eased their horrible refund policies where it was so tough to make any changes. Well, now some of them are backtracking on those new perks. Well, this isn't good news for travelers. A recent headline in USA Today says why 2025 is the year of non-refundable travel. Many of the COVID rules we got used to, like cancel anytime, are not a given anymore, according to consumer advocate Chris Elliott. He says airlines, hotels, and rental car companies now want to minimize their risk and boost profits. So they're selling more non-refundable seats, rooms, and cars. Want the cheapest hotel room? You'll need to prepay, and it's non-refundable. Want the cheapest airline seats? You'll need basic economy, and in most cases, it's non-refundable and non-changeable. So from the Doesn't That Stink file, how buying refundable travel will now cost you more on most occasions. Not sure you'll be able to take that Las Vegas trip next spring? A changeable flight will cost about $100 more, while a fully refundable hotel room might be another $100. One way around it, purchase travel insurance that lets you cancel for any reason. But that will cost extra money too. So next time you're booking a trip, check those refund and change fees. Make sure you understand them before you make the reservation, and that way you don't waste your money.
.17 on this Tuesday morning, and we have mostly clear skies across the area. Here's a look from our 12 News studio down on I-10 as we look off towards the north this morning. Not too many cars yet on I-10, but at least let's go along pretty smoothly. This camera is brought to you by Mid-County Plumbing, part of the Roofing 911 Live Skycam network. Temperatures in the 60s this morning. We've been missing Silsbee all morning long. Now all of a sudden temperature in Kirbyville's dropped down, but we've been seeing some 60s there. 64 right now in Jasper, 68 in Orange, in Beaumont, 71 in Port Arthur, and 73 in Woodville. Fairly quiet across the entire Lone Star State. Not much going on except for a couple of showers down towards Corpus Christi. Some cloud cover out towards the west. Kind of watching out towards our east today. We'll see some showers, maybe a few thunderstorms develop, and they're going to be tracking off towards the south and southwest. So a few of those could, they hold together, kind of sweep into our area from the east, which we typically don't see weather from the east. It's usually coming from the west. So kind of look off towards the east today, and we could see a couple of showers here or there. This morning I think we'll be dry, no problems out there. We'll get up to close to 90 by lunchtime, and then as we get into the afternoon we'll see temperatures climb up into those lower 90s, 91, 92. And like I said, a couple of showers maybe developing out towards our east, working their way off towards the west. So we could see maybe a couple of those for today. So we'll include a 20% chance of rain. Those should die down as we lose the heating of the day. And then overnight, we're expecting dry conditions, mostly clear skies. And once again, we'll see a mixture of some 60s and 70s to start off on your Wednesday morning. Out in the Atlantic, there's a couple of things now the Hurricane Center is watching. One is just now coming off the coast of Africa. The other one we've been watching for a couple of days now. Starting to get a little bit more organized here. You can almost see kind of a twist to it just a little bit. They're going 80-90% chance of development here on this one, as it looks like it's going to hang out into the open Atlantic, not going to bother the East Coast. And then we have that second one coming off Africa. Right now it's only a 20% chance of development. So we'll watch both of those, but neither one of those look like they're going to be a threat for the Gulf. But we'll keep our eye on those. Today, forecast calling for partly cloudy skies, east winds at 3 to 8, and temperatures in the lower 90s, back into the lower 70s tonight. Some upper 60s thrown in as well, especially up towards the lakes. Mostly clear and light and variable winds. Our 7-day forecast showing about the same stuff every day. Maybe Saturday a little drier, but every day a small chance for a couple of showers, very isolated showers here and there, all the way to about Monday. Monday's about a 30% chance of some rain, and steady temperatures 90 to about 92 for highs, and say 71 to about 74 for overnight lows.
Some areas still needing those downpours.
Yeah,
or some
we
rain.
definitely could use some widespread rainfall right now. It's been dry now for a couple of weeks, so we could use some measurable rainfall across the area. Not a lot.
Right.
Half an inch to an inch would be nice for a day or two, but just not the cards right now. There'll be a couple of downpours here and there, but that's it.
I bet the farmers have noticed it for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, it'd be worth checking in with them on that. All right, thank you, Jeff. And just a reminder, you can download our app at any time to get the latest on the weather. You can check the radar by going to the radar tab in the app. And it's 7:20, time for your trending news, and two businesses are teaming up to offer a frozen treat that's pretty unusual, to say the least, but they want to hear from you first.
All right, question of the day. Would you try ice cream that tastes like sunscreen?
No.
Nasty.
No.
Well, this company is teaming up with Carnival Cruises to make this crazy combo a reality. It would be made with coconut cream, cocoa butter, vanilla, and other ingredients. Now, you can't buy this right now, but the brands are asking people to share their thoughts on social media before deciding whether to release it for a limited time. Just don't do it.
Yeah, sunscreen, it smells like chemicals to me that they try to mask with some sort of fragrance. Now, what they described in that ice cream there, I would try it if you didn't tell me that it was supposed to taste like sunscreen.
Right. Like, wow.
Yeah, that's a bad taste association.
Yeah. Believe it or not, as of today, it's officially 100 days until Christmas.
Wow, I can't believe that. According to the Postal Service, your kiddos, they can start sending their letters off to Santa. Now, under Operation Santa, the Postal Service is going to make sure that your child's letters end up in the hands of generous people and groups who help grant holiday wishes. Now, the envelope, it needs to include the little one's full name and a return address and Santa's address. Didn't realize he had an address, but here it is. It's Santa at 123 Elf Road, North Pole, and the zip code's very simple, all 8s, 88888. Letters, they need to be postmarked by December 6th, and that's so great that there's a group out there that's helping.
I know.
That's very
cute.
sweet.
I like that.
All right, speaking of Christmas, one thing many people can agree on is it's way too early to hear Mariah Carey's infamous Christmas song. I don't know if it's infamous.
Yes. I feel like everybody knows this song. And whether or not you agree, Mariah is in phase. She'll be spending her holidays in Vegas. She just announced her Christmas time in Las Vegas residency. The singer, known for the hits All I Want for Christmas Is You, will perform 10 shows in late November and early December. Tickets go on sale this Saturday.
Certainly famous, not infamous though. Not notorious, just famous.
Hey, I guess it depends on who you're talking to.
Hey, I like it.
She's making a comeback though. She's coming with some new music. She's going to Vegas. So shout out to Mariah. All right. Live look now from our Roofing 911 Skycam Network. Time 7:23. Jeff will be back with that forecast.
This is a tornado on the ground.
And the roads are slippery.
We have a tropical storm warning.
Look at this water.
Street flooding in Boma.
It is going to get extremely cold.
The metal building blew away from a business.
Staying safe behind the wheel is imperative.
Find a safe spot, move to an interior room.
Just make sure you're staying safe.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
The STEM fields are providing opportunity to be part of the developments that will shape the future, and the Army National Guard is at the forefront of the movement. Soldiers can serve part-time and choose from dozens of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics jobs, working with cutting-edge technology and innovations. And the skills and experience they receive can open doors for them to civilian careers in the STEM world. Join a team that is taking the lead in STEM by talking to a local recruiter or by going to nationalguard.com/careers.
409 Sports. To us, it's about so much more than a highlight, wins or losses.
It's the heart that makes up the game, the triumph of the human spirit.
It's agony and victory, diehards and day ones. It can divide or unify a community.
We give you the stats, but then we inspire you with the stories. The unpredictable, unforgettable, and incomparable.
We bring it to you all because sports lives in the 409.
No matter where we start, every mile brings us closer. And as Texans, we take care of each other along the way. We lend a hand, slow down, and take our time. At the end of the day, we all want to get home safe. Drive like a Texan. Kind, courteous, and safe.
I'm meteorologist Kerry Cooper here with another hurricane tip. Stay connected. Sign up for free emergency alerts from your local county and plan on to monitor the latest local weather and news at 12newsnow.com. Being aware of any new information will be invaluable. And finally, know the types of alerts you may receive. A watch means be prepared, while a warning means act. For more hurricane tips, go to 12newsnow.com/hurricane.
Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
Welcome back at the bus stop for this morning. It's warm. Temperatures in right around 70 degrees. Warm and dry 87 as we head towards recess, and then an isolated shower possible this afternoon. I wouldn't even carry rain gear, though. It's going to be very isolated. Temperatures going to be in the lower 90s. It's going to be hot on the way home. As we look at our coastal marine forecast for today, a northeasterly wind of 5 to 10 knots, seas around 2 feet. High tide at 1:56 this morning, so that was the last one for the day. Our sunrise was at 7:02. It's just starting to come up now. Our sunset tonight's at 7:20. Look for some mostly smooth conditions on the inland lakes and bays today.
And coming up here on Daybreak on 12 News Plus, a family is heartbroken over the loss of a 19-year-old mother killed in a crash. Her father's message as the other driver sits in jail.
Plus, Charlie Kirk's suspected killer is expected in court today. How law enforcement says he allegedly laid out his attack.
And a man charged with stealing thousands of dollars worth of jewelry from celebrities makes an appearance in court. The big names he's accused of robbing.
And your time now, 7:26. We're taking a live look at Port Arthur and now at Gator Country, but I don't see no gators. Man, all right, maybe we'll see them when we come back.
Yes. Good morning, Southeast Texas. Thanks for joining us here on Daybreak on 12 News Plus. I'm Mark Armstrong.
And I'm Tia Johnson. It is now 7:30, so let's take a look at your top stories this morning. We've learned the name of the Beaumont man who was killed in a crash Sunday. Port Arthur police say two vehicles slammed into each other head-on the MLK Bridge going toward Pleasure Island. 18-year-old Xavier Aude was killed. The driver of the other car was taken to the hospital but is expected to be okay. The crash is still being investigated.
Beaumont man who was about to go to trial for a deadly 2022 crash has pleaded guilty to manslaughter. According to a probable cause affidavit, Cedric Fontenot was on his phone while driving a mail truck when he crashed into Jonathan Girody's car, killing him. He was sentenced to 6 months in the Jefferson County Jail and 10 years probation.
The LNG boom in our region shows no sign of slowing. 12 News was there as Woodside Energy broke ground on a new facility in Sulphur yesterday. It's a $17.5 billion project. There will be 3 production lines that'll produce more than 16 million units of product. They're expected to be up and running by 2029, and the company wants to add 2 more. All right, let's go take a look outside now from our Roofing 911 Skycam network. The sun coming out. Let's toss it over to Jeff.
Hey, Jeff.
Good morning. Temperatures not too bad out there for this morning. We're in the upper 60s here in Beaumont at 68, showing 68 in Orange and 66 in Jasper. Port Arthur's at 71, Woodville 72. Not getting a report right now from Silsbee or Kirbyville, but generally some lower 70s and upper 60s. Showing 75 downtown from our Packer LaPrairie location, humidity at 82% and northeasterly winds at 3 to 4 on our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network. You can see clear skies out there for this morning. Our day planner shows clouds building up a little bit this afternoon, and we could see a few showers pop up by late afternoon, early evening. We'll go 20% for coverage for later on today. They'll be actually tracking in from the east thanks to a disturbance that's working its way from east to west. So maybe a few showers. Kind of watch toward your east. You see, like I said, a couple of showers popping up with highs around 92 for today. We'll talk more about your 7-day forecast, which includes more days just like this as we head towards your weekend. We'll have your forecast in just a little bit.
All right, Jeff, and we are following the latest on that mystery man who stopped traffic in Port Arthur Monday. He climbed nearly 180 feet to the top of the radio tower at Lamar University, Port Arthur. And according to police, he is still up there right now. Now, we started tracking him starting around 3:30 yesterday afternoon using our Roofing 911 Live Skycam. Now, we also had a crew monitoring him from the ground. At some point, he attached a backpack to the tower. Now, once police realized who he was, they moved back in an effort to give him some space and convince him to come down. Police say that he is a serial climber. He's done this before, because here's video taken about 2 months ago, and the Port Arthur fire chief there, Jay Fountain, says that this is the same man who climbed that water tower on the west side, along with a power tower where St. Mary Hospital used to be. Now, last night he started climbing down around 9:15. We saw all that on our Skycam there, but Port Arthur police say as of this morning, and we did check our Skycamming this morning, we didn't quite see him up there, but according to Port Arthur police, they say he is indeed still up there this morning. We'll keep you updated and let you know when he gets down safely, and we'll let you know if there's anything else with this unusual situation.
All right, it's now 7:33. A Port Arthur man was sentenced to 10 years in prison for a deadly 2022 shooting. Dariante Everfield pled guilty to murder yesterday. Police say he was the getaway driver involved in the deadly shooting of 19-year-old Alfonso Solomon at a McDonald's in Groves. He also pled guilty to tampering with physical evidence. The shooter, Daryl Prevost, was sentenced to 76 years in prison back in 2023.
And a Jefferson County judge has sentenced a man to prison for child sex crimes. Austin Shoemaker, he pleaded guilty Monday to 2 counts of aggravated sexual assault of a child. Now, according to a probable cause affidavit, he assaulted a child younger than 14 at a Beaumont motel. He was already on probation on a theft charge. Well, Judge John Stevens, he revoked that probation and sentenced him to 20 years.
Now to a tragic story. Flowers, stuffed animals, and signs are being placed along Washington Boulevard this morning as a memorial for Jasmine Batiste continues to grow. The 19-year-old was killed in a crash over the weekend. She's the great niece of former Beaumont Mayor Robin Mouton. Meanwhile, 47-year-old Legionnaire Stevenson now sits in the Jefferson County Jail charged with intoxication manslaughter. Police say he was driving the wrong way when he slammed into Batiste's car. Now we're hearing from Jasmine's father, who remembers her as a good mother and a loving daughter and sister.
Yeah, he says her death feels like a bad dream, and she leaves behind a 3-year-old son. 12 News reporter Spencer Plato has more.
Still doesn't seem real, but coping with it.
A mother, daughter, and a sister, Jasmine Batiste leaves her family with only memories.
Hard worker, really outgoing. You know, she's a really outgoing person. She would always want to work. I always wanted to work. She'd come to work with me sometimes.
Batiste was leaving her family's house to pick up her son early Sunday morning when she was hit head-on by another vehicle. Her father, Reginald Batiste, says that's when he got the call.
I thought it was a chance I could, save her or, do something that they wasn't doing, but the paramedics had already been on the scene and pronounced her dead.
He's now leaning on his faith to get through this heartbreaking loss.
Your child is supposed to bury you, but when you have to bury your child, it's a whole different thing. It's not something that you think that's going to happen to you.
He says the last thing he said to his daughter was that he loved her.
I still hear her voice telling me she loved me. And we had a good talk, about her going forward with working and in life and stuff.
According to court documents, the driver, Leonora Stevenson, told officers that he had a few drinks before the crash. Her father shares his message to those considering getting behind the wheel after drinking.
Don't be selfish and be drunk enough to, don't be inebriated enough to where you harm somebody else. I don't hate anyone. I don't hate the guy. I have no hatred in my heart for him, but just make better decisions.
And Jasmine's funeral, it is set for Saturday at 1 p.m. at Cathedral of Faith Baptist Church in Beaumont.
Switching gears now to new information this morning on the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Law enforcement says the suspect allegedly laid out his attack tracking Kirk's schedule and studying a map of the campus. It comes as the Utah County Attorney is expected to file charges today against 22-year-old Tyler Robinson. FBI Director Kash Patel says investigators recovered 2 pieces of evidence that matched Robinson's DNA as they pore over his electronic devices.
Text message exchange where the suspect specifically stated that he had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk and he was going to do that. And when he was asked why, he said some hatred cannot be negotiated with.
Now, the NYPD is warning of an increasingly volatile threat environment, saying Kirk's assassination and that of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson last year stemmed from the same toxic and violent atmosphere.
Political violence, targeted attacks, mass shootings that are plaguing the United States and have been for over a decade are in large part fueled by an online ecosystem that's saturated with violent and other content that's purposely placed there by foreign powers, terrorist groups, violent organizations here for the purposes of inspiring and informing future attacks.
Patel will be on Capitol Hill today taking questions on the FBI's handling of the Kirk shooting investigation and his overall leadership of the department.
And police say the alleged ringleader of a group of criminals who targeted celebrities is now in custody. Prosecutors call his criminal history disturbing. Here's ABC's Perry Russum with more.
Count 9, robbery in the first degree.
This morning, the man accused of targeting celebrities and pro athletes in a string of burglaries and robberies is behind bars in Seattle, pleading not guilty to 10 felony counts. Police showing us the extensive amount of jewelry, stacks of cash, and weapons they say were seized in the investigation. One alleged target, the rapper Macklemore.
I'm gonna pop some tags, only got $20 in my pocket.
Police say the suspect, 29-year-old Patrick Masonette, and another man broke into Macklemore's home in June and pepper sprayed a nanny. Months earlier, police say Masonette was one of 3 men who robbed Super Bowl champion Richard Sherman's family at gunpoint. Sherman posting this video of the suspects fleeing. Masonette is also accused of targeting these 3 current and former baseball stars. He was quiet in court yesterday, in stark contrast to his recent arraignment.
Don't forget to tell them I'm from the 50s.
Authorities say despite a long and violent criminal history, a judge allowed Masonette to walk free on bail with an ankle monitor after he was charged with a home invasion in 2023. They say he cut off that ankle monitor before becoming the ringleader of this recent crime spree. The judge, when asked to defend his bail decision in that prior case, said,
"Well, I think there's always the hope that people have the capacity to change their behavior. And this was a young person."
Perry Russell, ABC News, New York.
Coming up next, a new poll is out about parents and skepticism over vaccines. How it shows misinformation is still an issue. Plus, a father-daughter duo in Scotland is going viral. Why? Because they're adorable. Why even celebrities are fawning over them? In just a bit, your time now, 7:40.
When industry news breaks, we're on the front lines, digging into the issue.
Lamar is working to protect Power City from hackers,
Filtering out rumors and giving you the facts, direct from inside sources.
ExxonMobil and lawyers for the United Steelworkers.
Taking on the story from all sides.
The company filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection last year.
Southeast Texas is a power city, and we're bringing the power to you. 12 News, putting Southeast Texas first.
As Texans, we have many reasons to be proud of the Lone Star State. Showing our pride by saying, "Don't mess with Texas," means we gotta step up, walk the walk. Do our part to keep Texas clean. Because after all these years, all these miles, all these traditions, for all us Texans, "Don't mess with Texas" means don't litter.
It's hard to really come to terms with dementia. There are little things that you can't even begin to plan for that happen that you need the early diagnosis for. My mom has done so much for me. There's no way that I wouldn't do the same for her. It's so important to have the conversation with your doctor earlier because you just do not know what the future holds.
We begin with breaking news in Port Neches.
Firefighters continue attacking the flames from the air.
We're working to learn more about a police chase.
We'll give you a live look at the scene tonight. Our crew there.
A chase in Port Neches turned into a standoff.
So we're working to get you more information.
We're going to keep you updated on air and online as we learn more.
Stream extended coverage on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
I'm meteorologist Kerry Cooper here with another hurricane tip, evacuating correctly. If local authorities advise you to evacuate, do so immediately and without delay. Bring your emergency kit and be sure to follow evacuation routes. Do not try to take shortcuts because they may be blocked. Also remember to eat and get enough sleep for you to deal with whatever stress that may come your way. For more hurricane tips, go to 12newsnow.com/hurricane.
Sponsored by Entergy. We power life. 12 News Hurricane Headquarters, sponsored by Entergy.
Welcome back, everyone. Try to think back to where you were 17 years ago this morning, because if you were here in Southeast Texas, it was a rough time. Many of us were without power, with no AC, just trying to make it after Hurricane Ike. The 2008 storm was a costly one and literally wiped a popular beach community off the map. Bob Buckaloo takes a look back.
Hurricane Ike slammed into the Galveston area on September 13, 2008, and up until that time was the costliest hurricane to ever strike Texas. Property losses totaled $37 billion. Winds reached 110 miles per hour, but it was water that did most of the damage. The hurricane pushed a 22-foot storm surge into a region dotted with beach communities that were literally wiped off the map by the churning tide. The hurricane destroyed virtually every beach home along Texas' Bolivar Peninsula. This is an aerial view of the community just a week before Hurricane Ike struck. Here's the same view taken several days after Ike came ashore. Despite the warnings, more than 140,000 coastal residents in Ike's path didn't evacuate, and many had to be rescued. 37 people in Texas are known to have lost their lives in the hurricane. Despite the damage and loss of life, weather experts said that if Hurricane Ike had made landfall just 50 miles farther down the Texas coast, with the brunt of the storm striking the Galveston and Houston area directly, the devastation and death toll would have been at least 4 times worse. Bob Buckaloo.
And Ike will definitely be remembered for the storm surge. Southwest Louisiana got a lot of flooding, so did parts of southeast Texas. Outside this morning, clear skies. Won't see any rain this morning as we look out towards Port Arthur on our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network. This camera brought to you by Market Basket. Looks like a good start out there this morning with temperatures in the 70s and 60s. 71 officially in Port Arthur, 69 in Beaumont as well as Orange, 68 in Kirbyville, and 66 in Jasper, showing 72 right now in Woodville. Very quiet across most of the state. We have some cloud cover out towards El Paso, West Texas. A couple of showers along the coast near Corpus Christi. Very quiet for us. What we're going to be watching for today is some showers developing out towards our east. We're going to have a little bit of a northeast to easterly wind today. So we could see a few showers develop, and then they could track into southeast Texas here by late this afternoon into this evening. So we'll be watching for that, as we look at futurecasts. Showing temperatures warming up through the 80s this morning. Should be dry, and then as we get into the afternoon, that's when we could see some of these showers kind of pushing in east to west across the area. Every once in a while you could see a couple of these showers combine to make a thunderstorm with a lot of lightning, some heavy downpours. I don't think that scenario is going to play out today, but there is a possibility of that where we could see maybe a couple of showers develop into something a little bit heavier for late in the afternoon into the early evening, maybe a little bit of a thunderstorm. So something we'll watch for, but like I said, things should be pretty isolated as we head towards this evening. And then overnight we'll see dry conditions. Temperatures are going to be in the upper 60s and lower 70s. Out in the tropics, there's 2 things now the Hurricane Center is watching. One is coming off the coast of Africa. The other one we've been kind of looking at for the last couple of days. The one coming off the coast, they're giving it about a 20% chance of some development. And then this one, 80-90% chance of maybe some development here over the next few days. This looks like it's almost got a little bit of a twist to it. So this could be our next tropical system right here. Good news is it looks like it's going to be tracking out in the open Atlantic, not bothering us here in the Gulf or on the east coast of the U.S. Forecast for today will go partly cloudy, temperatures in the lower 90s with an east wind at 3 to 8. And then for tonight, mostly clear, temperatures back into the lower 70s and upper 60s, kind of like this morning. And then our 7-day forecast showing temperatures into the lower 90s all the way through the weekend into early next week. Morning lows are going to be in the lower 70s. And each day we'll see a chance for a shower here or there, about 20%. So there'll be isolated showers each afternoon or late afternoon, generally into the evening. And then maybe a little bit better chance on Monday, but could see a few showers here and there. Not a big deal, looks like.
Yep, it looks like one of those situations where you're almost lucky if it rains on you in a way.
Yeah, consider yourself lucky. Yeah. Consider your lawn lucky because it's getting pretty dry out there for sure.
We could go a little longer.
Well,
I'm with her.
Says the woman who lives in an apartment that doesn't have a lawn.
That's right. That's right. Cuts itself.
Yeah.
All right. Just reminding you can download the app at any time to get the latest on the weather. You can check the radar by going to the radar tab in the app. All right, it's 7:48, and in your health news this morning, a new poll from the Washington Post is revealing just how many parents are choosing not to vaccinate their kids. It shows that 1 in 6 have either delayed or skipped standard vaccines.
It also found 9% of parents now say they've opted out of the MMR vaccine, which protects against the measles, mumps, and rubella.
That creates these unfortunate gaps in immunization coverage, which we know can leave kids vulnerable and possibly cause an outbreak if we don't have that protection.
Parents who skipped the vaccine cited concern about side effects, a lack of trust and safety, and a belief that not all of them are necessary. It shows misinformation is still an issue.
And this shows us that we still need to do some education when it comes to the schedule and why kids are getting the shots that they are when they are.
This comes after a new move from Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. yesterday. He appointed 5 new members to the CDC's advisory committee, which makes vaccine recommendations. Some have voiced their skepticism of vaccines, and the panel will meet this week.
Yeah, and as for the new poll, it found that the parents most likely to opt out of child vaccines were Republicans, younger parents, and those who homeschool their children. And there's nothing better All right, and check this out. There's nothing better than the bond between a father and his little girl.
Absolutely. And this morning we're shining a spotlight on one father-daughter duo across the pond who are going viral just for being themselves. ABC's Danny New has this story.
Hello, my lovelies. How are you all today? Say hi, Jimmy boy.
Hi, Jimmy boy.
A father and daughter in Scotland, charming hearts around the world with their daily routines.
We've sort of always had a close bond, eh?
Yeah.
11-year-old Carly and her father, Ryan, have picked up millions of views as they, for example, make dinner together.
He would never have crispy onions on his baked potato.
Also their bedtime ritual, where Dad brushes Carly's hair to the best of his ability.
Say, like, Mum's done my hair now. Dad hasn't done it. Apologies about my hair, by the way.
You look like you've been dragged through a bush.
Well, no matter who does her hair, their many followers don't seem to mind. One commenter writing, I understand 30% of what they're saying, but I love it.
We try to slow our speaking down a wee bit to help people understand us a little bit better.
Nah, I say just do it your way.
Hi, my lovelies. I'm doing a wee video on how I do my makeup.
For the record, Carly's catchphrases like hello my lovelies and Jimmy boy first started when she began making her own little sketch videos in the 2020 lockdown. As you may have noticed, her dad's name is Ryan, not Jimmy boy. But that just kind of came organically one day from this character.
You look all so grown up.
But as you can tell from this clip of Ryan laughing through tears when seeing Carly dressed up for her school dance, they are not always being silly. This moment even got the attention of Khloe Kardashian, who commented, "What an incredible relationship, heart, 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 heart."
Say hi, Jimmy boy.
Hi, Jimmy boy.
And even though Carly says sometimes it can be confusing to be recognized on the street or at school, here is why she enjoys making these videos with her father.
My dad's my best friend, and that's why, like, we can make someone's day happy. That makes me happy.
Danny New, ABC News, New York.
Oh, definitely a sweet story there.
Very much so. Nothing like a daddy's girl, I suppose.
Yeah, and the relationship between a father and a daughter.
Yeah, absolutely.
So cool to see. All right, we'll have more news and weather in your morning rush outs. Your time, 7:52.
As tropical activity picks up in the Gulf, 12 News is your hurricane headquarters. Get prepared before a storm hits. Watch the 12 News Hurricane Special, streaming on 12 News Plus. From the must-haves in your supply kit to the evacuation routes you'll need to take, plus safety tips and how you can protect yourself from storm scammers. The 12 News Hurricane Special, keeping you prepared. Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
No matter where we start, every mile brings us closer. And as Texans, we take care of each other along the way. We lend a hand, slow down, and take our time. At the end of the day, we all want to get home safe. Drive like a Texan. Kind, courteous, and safe.
The impact killed my dad and brother instantly. A man, after drinking excessively with his coworkers, ran a stop sign, T-boned my parents' Honda, and destroyed our family. He could have just said, hey, I'm not okay. There's Lyft, there's Uber, there's taxis. There's so many other options. Every day, someone else can be taken away.
The STEM fields are providing opportunity to be part of the developments that will shape the future, and the Army National Guard is at the forefront of the movement. Soldiers can serve part-time and choose from dozens of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics jobs, working with cutting-edge technology and innovations. And the skills and experience they receive can open doors for them to civilian careers in the STEM world. Join a team that is taking the lead in STEM by talking to a local recruiter or by going to nationalguard.com/careers.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Patrick Vaughn, here with some hurricane tips for protecting yourself against flooding. Take shelter in a designated storm shelter or an interior room and stay away from glass windows of doors. And if flooding begins, move to higher ground immediately. Never walk, swim, or drive through floodwaters. Remember, turn around, don't drown. For more hurricane tips, go to 12newsnow.com/hurricane.
Sponsored by Entergy.
Welcome back to Daybreak. It is 7:54 right now, and it's time for your morning rush out.
Here's everything you need to know as you start your day. Dayrionte Everfield of Port Arthur was sentenced to 10 years in prison for a deadly 2022 shooting. He pled guilty to murder yesterday. Police say he was the getaway driver in the deadly shooting of 19-year-old Alfonso Solomon at a McDonald's in Groves. He also pled guilty to tampering with evidence. The shooter was sentenced to 76 years in prison in 2023.
Austin Shoemaker has been sentenced to prison for child sex crimes. He pleaded guilty to 2 counts of aggravated sexual assault of a child on Monday. Now, according to a probable cause affidavit, he assaulted a child younger than 14 at a Beaumont motel. Now, he was already on probation for theft, and the judge revoked that probation and sentenced him to 20 years.
The man who climbed to the top of the radio tower at Lamar Port Arthur is still there, according to police. We just saw him a couple of minutes ago. He's nearly 180 feet up. Police say he's a serial climber and say they tried to give him space and convince him to come down. It looked like he started to come down last night, but apparently he's still there. We'll keep you updated.
And nice and quiet out there this morning. Temperatures in the 60s and 70s. Will reach the lower 90s today, with about a 20% coverage of a couple of showers late in the afternoon into the early evening, maybe an isolated thunderstorm even. And then we'll see the same type of weather Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, each day in the lower 90s, a small chance of rain. Saturday, maybe a little drier, and then more chances for rain Sunday into Monday, with highs still in the lower 90s.
And as we close out our third hour of Daybreak, the Jasper County Sheriff's Office has a new K-9 Rhino. He works with Lieutenant Chad Ainsworth, and he's 4 years old, and he had his first narcotics find on his very first day on the job on September 5th. Rhino, he is taking over for Leroy, Lieutenant Ainsworth's original very good boy, who got sick back in May. Now, Leroy is 9, and while the Sheriff's Office hoped that he had a couple of years left in him, it's time for him to retire and live the good life. So congratulations on your retirement, Leroy, and welcome to the team, Rhino.
Yeah, and they really do appreciate and treat those K-9s just like regular officers and stuff as well.
They've got a great bond there. And thanks so much for watching Daybreak here on 12 News Plus.
We'll be back at 11.
Have a great day.